For the next 7 days, I'm going to be copying popular Roblox games to see how much Robux I can make. I've always been curious if these games actually make any money, and to figure it out, I'm going to try copying one myself to see if I can make 10,000 Robux. The game that I'm going to be copying is Grow a Garden. It's really simple, but somehow has over 200,000 live active users. If you haven't played it, you plant seeds and wait until they grow. But the catch is that they also grow offline, which won't be an easy thing to script. I started with the basics, a crop and a garden. They obviously look trash right now and will be changed in the future. I wrote my first script, which is going to clone a seed in the player's backpack, and when activated, it should place it on the ground. Okay, so I was trying to make a placement system, but I accidentally made this. I don't know what even is it, but it just keeps cloning the part and making this infinite trail. I definitely need to find a fix, because this is laggy and unplayable. I moved the placement system on the client and only delivered the data on the server, which was a huge mistake. You'll see why later. I fixed the problem and now you can actually plant seeds. When you equip one, this highlight shows the area where you can plant it, and let me go ahead and click here. As you can see, it's planted, but nothing happens since it still needs to be scripted. I continued on to script the growing system that will grow each part one by one, and for it to work I need to specifically name each part, representing its growth order and XYZ axis. Visually it might look that I haven't changed anything, but just look at what happens when I plant this seed. As you can see, first of all, the weight system works, it's completely massive, and second of all, these parts are growing one by one, forming the full plant. But yeah, now there is a problem. If the plant is way too big, it just won't fit on the garden. That won't really be a problem, since I'm going to limit the weight. I started scripting the data system, which should save and load all your planted crops and make them grow offline. I'm pretty much done with the offline growing system. Let me go ahead and plant this seed and leave the server. So it should be bigger, and there it is. It has this branch and it's continuously growing. But the system still has a lot of bugs, so I need to make some adjustments. If you're wondering how the plant keeps growing offline, it's actually pretty simple. When you plant a crop, I save the timestamp, then when you come back, I calculate the time difference between now and when it was planted to determine how much it has grown. However, there is no way to collect it, so I added the proximity prompt. Then I made a UI that will display the progress and scripted it to follow your mouse. After a lot of work, I have implemented a lot of new features, including sound effects. Now if you hover over the plant, you can see its progress. Right now, it should be at 20%. Okay, there it is, it updated. Also, these word numbers are the plant's UUID, which I used to save the data and load it back. Otherwise, the data store won't know which one of these is the real one, because they're all the same type of plant. After you harvest it, the plant disappears and it's removed from the data. The plants are saved in the data store, but now I need to load them in the workspace. This script should work. Well, that's what I thought. Later, when I released the game, there was a huge bug. I'm finally going to start working on the map, and I improved it by adding a fence. Each player will have a garden, and for that I need to script the plot system. Now this game has a plot system, which was surprisingly easy to make. I only had to write about 100 lines of code. I also adjusted the placement system to work only on your plot, and when you try to plant something on here, it won't work. If you're wondering why this crop is in the other plot, well, I'm going to add a feature that allows you to steal other crops. I want to add a custom inventory, but I don't know how to do it. So I found a free model and heavily adjusted it. Then I wrote a function that will save the harvested crop and clone it in your inventory. This took way too much time. Let's go, this finally works. Now you can harvest crops and they will appear in your inventory. You can also plant seeds and this custom inventory system also works. I found this online, so huge thanks to the guy that made it. I will probably add some adjustments, but for now this works perfectly fine. Now I'm going to work on the feature where you can steal crops. So for that I will need to use developer products and script the shop system. Now I got the plant stealing set up and let me show you how it works. I will plant the seed right here and the other player can come visit this garden and just steal the crop. Of course it'll cost Robux, but as you can see the crop is in my inventory and it's gone from this player's garden. Just like grow a garden, I want to make multiple variations of each crop and scripting it was relatively easy. I made one function that I can easily use, but getting it to work on the inventory was a different story. Similar to fish, now my game has a ton of variants for each crop. Let me plant a seed and I also got a transparent stick. This is one of the variants and looks like I got the glowy one, which is the rarest one yet. Yo, this looks sick. Hopefully these shiny crops will make the players grind for them. I started building a merchant where you'll be able to buy seeds. I added Philip the farmer that will sell you the goodies. I need an NPC system, so I just took one from my website and with a couple of clicks added it in my game. But I want to make it even better, so I remade the UI and added many improvements. I heavily upgraded the NPC system. Let me go ahead and talk to Philip the farmer. I can choose to close the UI, ask a little bit about this guy, or just open the shop, which I will do right now. The shop isn't scripted, but this system works really well. You can get the upgraded version right now. It's on my website along with high quality assets and pre-made game templates that can help you level up your Roblox games. If you had bought the old version of this NPC system, you'll get the new one for completely free. To check out more assets and get some free templates, visit my website, linked in the video's description. Now it's time to script the shop, which is going to be server-sided, meaning there's going to be limited stock on each seed. After a long time, I'm finally done with the global shop, except there's one issue. For some reason the UI doesn't scale properly. I don't know what's wrong. If you don't have enough coins, it won't allow you to buy this crop, but you can always purchase for Robux. As you can see, I got another stick seed that I can plant. I made another stand, and here you'll be able to sell your crops to Sam the seller. I scripted a function that will determine the crop's price and implemented it in other scripts. The selling system works. As you can see, I got myself a golden crop and let me talk to Sam the seller. He can tell how much this crop is worth and I can also sell it. And as you can see, I got 60 golden ingots. But there's one problem. I don't know how to make it work that it sells your whole inventory. It was actually a couple lines of code, so I continued on by scripting 3 buttons. Sell, shop, enter garden. Instead of walking, you can just teleport, which is the genius method used by Grow a Garden. I finally made some assets and created a simple desert map. It turned out pretty good. I made sure to also add invisible borders, so players can't just fall out of the map. It's time for my favorite part, adding monetization. I scripted a special offer that'll be gone in 5 minutes, sort of forcing the player to buy it. This is my main strategy to make 10,000 Robux from this game. I'm getting closer to being done, but there are still features that need to be added, like a proper tutorial. Without one, players will be confused and just leave. I'm pretty much entirely done with this game. All the systems should work, and here is the tutorial. As you can see, you need to plant a seed, then wait until it grows. Looks like I got a transparent stick. Now when I harvest it, you move on to step 2, which is selling it. And after that, the tutorial is completed. I'm going to play a holding animation when you pull out a big crop. And speaking of crops, my modeler was done with 7 unique plants, and all I had to do was configure them. So the game is pretty much ready for release. I polished all the necessary things and it should be good. As you can see, the holding animation works, I can buy seeds but I don't have any money. I also improved the dialogue system where if you walk away, it automatically closes the UI, and this game is ready. Hopefully there won't be any bugs. I designed a couple of thumbnails and ran ads. I will check out the results tomorrow. Okay, I have a big problem. The crops are glitched and you can literally dupe them. I need to stop running ads and figure out a fix before it's too late. This can heavily ruin the game's statistics. This is why making the placement system on the client was a big problem. If a player had lag, he could simply place infinite crops. I quickly fixed that and made some improvements that helped the game grow. The game is starting to gain some attraction, but the like ratio is really bad. This needs to be improved, otherwise it'll just fail. To get even more players and have more chances of earning 10,000 Robux, I launched more ads, but there was a slight problem. Oh my god, I'm so dumb, I bought it for the wrong experience. I don't even know what is Revenge of the Slimes, it's not even my game. I'm so stupid, I just wasted 5,000 Robux. And with that, my career was over, and the game only earned 443 Robux, which is nothing compared to what I spent on ads. In conclusion, you probably won't make much money from fully copying other games. So it's way better to go with your own unique ideas that make your game stand out. It's hard to think of them, but those ideas do pay off. Anyways, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day and peace.